Hey everyone, it's Emma and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about packing lightly and how that can help you reduce your waste. Mochi's eating, if you hear anything. And there might be construction going on outside. Not ideal filming conditions. Let's get to it. This weekend we are going up to Osaka. If you don't know, it's probably one of the biggest cities in Japan. It is about 3 or 4 hours east of Tokyo. It was the old capital of Japan. It's about an hour-and-a-half flight for us. Speaking of flying, I'm not gonna go in depth about this here because this is a whole nother video I'm going to make later. Most environmentalists don't agree with flying, and for the most part, I can't help it because of where I live. As you can see here in this photo, you can't even see the island I live on because it is so small and so far away from the rest of Japan. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to get to live in Japan for 3 years, and I don't feel like reducing and cutting out my flying is something that I want to do right now. Again, I'll touch more on that in a later video. I do have a blog post about this for the time being. I'll link that down below if you want to check it out and kind of see some of my reasons as to why I continue to fly. But until that video comes out, just bear with me in the fact that I still fly. But anyways, we are flying and I wanted to kind of take you along with me as I pack and prepare for this trip. I'm gonna do this in 2 videos. I'm going to do this one, which is of course how to pack light and why that can help you reduce your waste. In the next video that you're going to want to check out, how to travel low waste and travel in general, whether that's flying, a bus, a train, carpooling, or a road trip. That's probably a better word for a road trip. How to reduce your waste doing any sort of traveling. But I do highlight some ways that you can reduce your waste while flying as well. So stay tuned for that video as well as an Osaka travel diary / recap. Be sure to hit subscribe and the bell for post notifications if you don't want to miss those. So before we actually get into it, I want to talk a little bit about my toiletries. My toiletry bag is just my makeup bag that I use day to day, but I just keep travel essentials in there. So my toothbrush, my little tiny tube of toothpaste, which we just refill. It's a little tricky, but that's one of the ways I reduce waste when I travel. Other things like my basic makeup, I always keep extra hair ties, extra band-aids, tweezers, stuff that you need when you're traveling, and it just always stays in this bag, so it's always ready to go whenever we're going on a trip. With that out of the way, let's just jump on into the packing video. So after my toiletries, I pack my other travel essentials like my coffee cup, a reusable bag, hand sanitizer, chapstick, tweezers, a stain stick, and earbuds. Of course, I am going to bring my Kindle, and I got this for my birthday. I'm so excited I finally have this because it is really a pain to pack Harry Potter Order of the Phoenix into a carry-on little tiny book bag. A Kindle makes it much easier for me to travel and continue to read. I also pack a little notebook and a pen just in case. I have a battery pack so we can charge our phones on the go, sunglasses, my reusable utensil, my phone charger, and that is it for my personal item. On a plane, of course, you get your check bag, which we rarely take check bags. We usually just do carry-on and personal item, and there is a difference. Not really in size, but you do get to take 2 things on board with you. This small book bag, which is counting as my personal item, a purse, a duffel bag, a tote, a pet carrier, things of that nature. But then you also get a carry-on as well, and that would be my bigger book bag or things like small suitcases. So that was it for my personal item, and then for my carry-on, here's what I packed for that. I am just taking 1 large book bag. It's got 2 large pockets and 2 small pockets. Very, very spacious. So I'm bringing 5 bras, 5 pairs of underwear, 5 pairs of socks, my pajamas. They're not really pajamas, they're just old clothes that I sleep in. 2 pairs of jeans, 2 t-shirts, 3 long sleeves, 2 gloves because I am always cold. You can check out this video right here if you want to see me make my own mittens and kind of talk about why I'm so cold all the time. A hat, a scarf, and a headband, depending on the hairstyle I choose to wear. A coat, Converse, and tennis shoes. And then this last thing I am showing you is the outfit that I am wearing on the plane to include the coat. Once I decide all the clothes I'm gonna wear, I'm gonna show you how I pack really compactly. So first, I pack small items into my shoes for compact packing and to keep them organized as well. I always know that all of my undergarments and socks are gonna be in my shoes, or other things like belts. I always put that stuff in my shoes so I know where they're going to be. Instead of all my undergarments stacking up and instead of shoes being sat there empty, they can both work together to reduce some space. After that, I start to roll the rest of my items. This takes up less room and it also prevents wrinkles. This yellow shirt I just got it. I thrifted it the other day. This is the best material for packing besides like denim, and that is because it doesn't wrinkle. You could literally pull this material into a ball and throw it in your bag, not even folding or rolling it, and it will not wrinkle. So it is just ideal travel material, whether you're going on a road trip or flying or whatever. After I roll and stuff everything in my shoes, it is time to put them in my bag. So I always start with shoes because they're flat and they take up the most room. After that, I continue with the biggest items because they take up the most room, and you can always sneak in small items around the big items. Later, I decided to add my toiletries to this bag instead, so that way I had plenty of room in my personal item for other stuff I want to add later before we leave. And then that's it. Here we have it, my personal item and my carry-on. If you know me well, you know that I am like a chronic overpacker. I've definitely become a lot better since becoming more of a minimalist. The most drastic I can think of is when Dan was here before me. He got to Okinawa before I did, and I came to visit him. I was here for only 4 weeks. I think I brought 3 bags because the airline was like, well, you can bring 2 checked bags. And I'm like, well, I'm bringing 2 checked bags and a carry-on and a personal item. I brought so much stuff for only 4 weeks. And I feel like now, if I was going somewhere for 4 weeks, I would probably just pack a carry-on. I'm sure you've seen memes about it, like me wears the same 2 items every day at home, and then me when I'm traveling. Do I need 4 French horns or 5? Like, we just all seem to pack the most ridiculous things and the most ridiculous amount of things when we're traveling. And that is something I've just been really trying to work on since becoming more of a minimalist. I've learned a lot from myself. I've learned a lot from others on YouTube and Instagram and stuff. I've learned what works best for me, and I've just learned that it's such a pain to lug around 3 or 4 bags when you're traveling, especially when you're alone. So I've just learned that it's so much more convenient for like transport, like in the airport, when you're getting a rental car, when you're checking into your hotel, climbing stairs, all this stuff. It is just so much easier to only have 1 or 2 small items instead of like 3 large items. So now I'm going to talk about some of the tips I have that help me pack light, and hopefully they can help you pack light as well and learn to be a bit more of a minimalist when you're traveling. So the first one, as you already seen, is to roll your clothes, and this does take up a lot of space as well as prevent wrinkles, which is just an added bonus. Tip number 2 is to plan your outfits so you don't overpack. This could be as simple as just laying stuff out to see what goes together, see what you're going to want to wear. Make sure you check the weather before you go. In Okinawa, it is still 70 degrees and I'm still wearing t-shirts every day, but in Osaka, I had to make sure and check the weather so that I would bring pants and gloves and a coat and stuff. So this way you know what you need. Make sure you check for rain, so you bring a rain jacket if you need. Checking the weather also helps you to not overpack because you're not sitting there thinking, oh no, what if it's warm one day and I want t-shirts, and oh, what if it's cold the other day and I need sweatshirts. This could also be as in-depth as you actually try on the outfits to see what you like, because I know most people travel and pack so they can get cute Instagram photos. That's not for me, but I know some people are like that, and if you have to do that, then do that. So I guess this rolls into another tip. When you are shopping to go travel, I roll my eyes because yes, that's a thing. Try to do it secondhand. I see people a lot of time on Instagram, clearly not part of the environmentalist zero waste movement type. I see them, oh, I was shopping on this website, or I went to the mall to try to find clothes for my next vacation. I'm like, why are you buying clothes specifically for one vacation, for one Instagram photo? I could go on about this. This can be a whole nother video. But if that is you, if you do feel the need to buy clothes specifically for an occasion, especially vacation, since this is kind of what we're talking about, try to find it secondhand. I guess the best option would be to ask your friends, ask your family, see if you can borrow something. If you can't find it that way, check things like Facebook Marketplace, ThredUp, your local thrift stores, things like that. The best option would be to buy secondhand, and try not to buy, especially from fast fashion brands, if you're looking for a new outfit just for your vacation. And please try to find another purpose for that outfit after your vacation instead of just selling it or throwing it out. It is okay to pack extra stuff. I do it too. Like you saw, I packed 5 shirts. We're only gonna be there for 4 days. It's 1 extra shirt. I mean, it's not that much. Like for a trip for 4 days, past me probably would have packed like 10 shirts or something insane. So I still do pack extra just in case, but I really try not to overpack anymore. The next tip is to utilize all your space. Like you saw, I made sure to use my tennis shoes to stuff smaller items in there, because tennis shoes don't flatten down all the way, so there's gonna be that extra space anyway, so you might as well occupy it with something small. You can also shove stuff in between the cracks of other clothes, use all the pockets you have, and just try to fill up whatever bag you're planning on bringing before you go and try to pack a bigger bag, if that makes sense. I always try to choose the smallest bag, and then when I decide like, it's getting too full, I should probably switch, that's when I try to pack a bigger bag. Tip number 4 is to wear your bulkiest items. This is also a great tip because a lot of airlines weigh your bags. They might charge you if your bag weighs too much, but this also helps you pack smaller. Like, can you imagine if I packed that coat? I would have had to bring a bag twice the size I already brought. I'm not gonna wear the coat the entire time, especially since we're taking off from Okinawa. I'm not wearing that bulky coat when it's 70 degrees, and I'm probably not gonna wear it on the plane either. I'm probably like put it under the seat in front of me. I also choose the bulkiest pair of pants, the bulkiest shirt, and the bulkiest shoes just because it does take up less space in my bag as well as weigh less. They typically don't weigh your personal item, so put your heaviest things in there too, like if you have camera batteries or your full water bottle, or even put it in the pockets. Like if you're wearing a coat or sweatshirt, put stuff in your pockets. This is becoming a random travel tip video now apparently. Check the airline before you book if you're concerned about it that much, but if you're not concerned about it that much, just check the airline's rules before you go. We're literally leaving tomorrow, but tonight I'm gonna check to make sure and see how much they they allow for carry-on weight, and then weigh my bags. We don't even have a scale. The next tip is to use smaller bags to organize items. So as you can see, I don't just throw my toiletries into my bag. I have them all in their own small bag. I also have this other small bag that I use for smaller items that go in my carry-on. And then you can also use packing cubes to organize your clothes as well and keep them compact. Or even like space saver bags, vacuum seal bags. And you don't actually have to go get real packing cubes. You can just use what you already have lying around. And then that can also help reduce some space as well. So this next tip isn't really a tip that will help you pack more lightly, but it is a travel hack nonetheless. And this is just to pack your items in a smart way. This doesn't only necessarily mean packing compactly and packing light, but also packing in a way that you can access the items that you need. So you don't want to bury your laptop in your carry-on if you're gonna have to get it out at security. You don't want to bury your passport if you're gonna need it at customs. Things like your phone charger, your water bottle, your snacks, your book, your headphones. Put those in a place that's very easy to access so you're not having to shuffle items and open all of your bags in the middle of the plane. It just gets really annoying. And even in a car ride or a subway or anything, you want your items that you're gonna need on your commute easily accessible. And same with the next tip is to just keep your personal items close. So you're gonna wanna keep them as close to the outside of your bag as possible, things like boarding passes, passport, other ID, but you also wanna keep them safe. So that goes along with just packing in a smart manner. Make sure you have easy access to this stuff, but that it's still safe. The next tip, and it is definitely a minimalist travel hack, and that is to pack clothes that can be reworn. Obviously, clothes can be reworn. Like, I don't just wear this shirt once and throw it out. But what I mean is that I'm not gonna pack up pants that are striped and colorful because that's only gonna go with like one item. I'm going to pack neutral color jeans, neutral color shirts, so that way I can mix and match if I have to and really utilize all of my items. So what I mean is that all of these clothes that I packed 3 pair of pants and 5 shirts. And since everything is pretty neutral with the exception of the yellow shirt, I could potentially have 15 outfits, and that's not even including shoes. This means that I could potentially use this book bag to travel for 2 weeks, and that's without even repeating an outfit. And I'm a proud outfit repeater. I don't care if I wear the same outfit on Instagram, in real life, or whatever. You can still be a minimalist without being an outfit repeater. Like you can see here, I only have 5 shirts and 3 pairs of pants, but I can potentially have 15 outfits. Some of them might not look as great as the others, but that's the potential. So yeah, this is great for traveling. If you don't want to be an outfit repeater while you're traveling, you have plenty of options, even if it is just a minimal amount of clothes. Another tip is to wash your clothes while you're traveling. If you're staying in a hotel, most hotels do have a laundry option. If you're staying in an Airbnb, even especially if it's like a house, a lot of house type Airbnbs do have a washer and dryer, or I have even just washed stuff in the shower. I washed clothes when we went to Thailand. I washed clothes when I went to DC, and of course when I went home, but that's because my mom had a washer and dryer that I could use. But both those times in Thailand and Washington DC, I washed stuff in the shower. I mean, it's really simple, honestly. You just use the hand soap or body soap, whatever you have in your hotel room or Airbnb, wash it while you shower, which saves water, and then you just hang dry it. And it might not smell as fresh as your laundry detergent might make it, chemically scented, but at least it doesn't stink. And I guess that's the point. We went to Thailand for nearly 2 weeks, and we each only had a carry-on, and we just washed our clothes whenever we needed something. Washing your clothes enables you to pack less items because you can just wash and rewear those items as needed. Another tip is to ask the people you're traveling with if they are already packing things, and then you don't have to pack repeat items. Specifically things like shampoo, conditioner, like our battery pack. I'm gonna offer to share that with my friends. So just ask people you're traveling with if you're traveling with others and see if they're already bringing something that you consider bringing, and then you all don't have to bring the same thing and you can reduce space that way. So that's all the tips I have. If you have any additional tips, please feel free to leave them down below to share with the rest of us. But now we're gonna move on as to why we should pack lightly and how this can reduce our waste. So a carry-on and or a personal item means less weight, which means less fuel burned. So the blog post in the video that I'm working on, which is how to reduce waste while traveling, I talk a lot more about this. Basically, it literally comes down to a single pound or a half a pound, depending on how much fuel the jet needs to burn. So the lighter that you can pack, the less fuel that the jet is going to burn, which means the less fuel that is wasted in general. It might be minuscule, but it does actually help. Packing lightly is also just more convenient on yourself. Like I already mentioned, it is so much easier to pack intentionally, pack lightly, because instead of having to lug around 3 or 4 gigantic bags by yourself in through an airport and a city, you only have to bring 1 or 2 small bags that are just way easier to move around. Not only are they less bulky, but they also weigh a lot less. It's just a lot more convenient on yourself when you pack lightly. Another tip that doesn't necessarily reduce your waste, but it does reduce your risk of lost luggage. It's a lot harder to lose your luggage when it's with you all the time or in the bin above your head, but it is so much easier for your luggage to get lost when it is in someone else's hands. When you have to give the responsibility of keeping track of that luggage to an airline, especially when you have layovers and change planes. I mean, it doesn't happen that often. They really do have a nice system. I mean, the risk is still there. So you do risk your chance of lost luggage when you only pack a carry-on. And a last reason, again, this one doesn't necessarily help you reduce your waste, but it does help reduce your risk again, and that is because you have all of your valuables and just all of your belongings in general. You don't risk losing things like your laptop and your phone charger and your toothbrush, things that you're gonna need like that day when you arrive. Whether you're bringing a checked bag or not, you should always have your passport and important documents on you. That one's like a very big if. For me, it's just always so nice to know that I always have everything. It's not in someone else's hands. It's not risk being stolen or lost. So I guess some of those weren't necessarily how to pack lightly / reduce your waste while traveling and packing tips. They were just traveling tips in general. Nonetheless, whether your goal is to reduce your waste or to reduce your headache, these tips can be really helpful and to just help your travel experience be a lot more fun, a lot less headache, a lot less stressful. I hope that some of these tips help you to pack more lightly. Don't forget to stay tuned for my next travel video, which is how to reduce your waste while traveling. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to leave your tips down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you like, and hit the subscribe button if you like all things travel, environmentalism, minimalism, the good stuff in life. I hope you have a great day, a great week, and until next time, remember that these small changes you make have a big impact in the long run. Bye guys. Hey everyone, it's Emma. Can you even see my hand? Okay, I still don't know what we're talking about today. Oh well. Yeah. Whee! I try to pack as minimally as possible, but sometimes I just can't help it. So that goes along with just parking? Yeah, okay. Whoa.